Okay, we're back. And what I want to talk to you about now is the difference between territorial marking and housebreaking. Basically, it's the difference between a dominance issue and an issue of not knowing that they should go outside. Now, this, for the most part, is a problem with male dogs, not so much female dogs. And the way you can tell the difference between the two is when you look at the way that a male dog asserts dominance. One of the ways that they do it is by hiking their legs. So if you're seeing accidents on the corners of furniture, up high on the walls, doorways, like door jambs, bedspreads, like up on the corner of the bed, anything that's up off the ground, that's not potty training problems, that's territorial marking problems, and it's a sign that your dog thinks that he's dominant. What he's trying to tell you is that he owns that house. Now, in the case of, wild dogs or wolves, what ends up happening is they have a territory. Now, their territory may expand over hundreds of miles, but basically they also have a core territory, and that core territory, the adult male wolf, the alpha wolf, will go out and urinate all the way around that territory to do two things. Number one, to let other wolves of other packs know where his territory starts and stops, and also let his pack know where their territory starts and stops. It's kind of a marker. It lets everybody know who's in charge. When your dog is doing this, he is letting you know he's in charge. Now, my suggestion for you, if that's the issue that you're having, is twofold. Number one, you need to get in with some really good tools and clean that area up. Get all the urine off the walls, off the bed, up underneath where the bed frame is, the door jambs. You may even have to, take the jamb apart, have a carpenter come in, take the jamb apart, clean everything, and put fresh wood on. Because the one thing that I will tell you, especially about male urine, is that it will penetrate pretty much anything, and it will leave an odor that is almost, impossible to get out. You have to really work through this. The second thing that I would do is find yourself a really good local trainer, not someone that's going to give your treats, give your dog treats and placate, but actually teach your dog what it's like to not be in charge. You may need to go and find somebody who's maybe a police trainer, somebody who's a law enforcement that's in the canine unit. You may need to find a local professional trainer. But the point here is, if you're having a problem with territorial marking, you need some extra help along with this course in order to be successful. Now, this course will help. There are a lot of dogs that do mark territorially, but they also squat and pee. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. You take them outside or you look at certain areas of the house and they'll mark up high, but when they really have to go because they don't understand they shouldn't go outside, they'll pee right in the middle of the floor. That means that that dog has two issues at the same time, which, if that's the case, I do feel for you, but there are ways around it. The first thing is getting your dog through some really good groundings and obedience. And the second thing is following this course so that as you work through the obedience issues and work through the territorial issues or the issues of dominance, you can also work through teaching your dog not to go to the bathroom in the house. Now, one of the things that you really want to be aware of is the way that you clean up the accidents, whether it's territorial marking or whether it's just regular housebreaking issues, they both leave scent. And that scent can be in the form of urine, it can be in the form of stool. And how you get rid of that scent is really going to determine how successful you're going to be in helping change your dog's behavior. Now, what I try to tell people is, if you're putting down things, whatever products you use, but if those products contain chemical agents that smell the same as what's in urine and stool, you're probably going to add to the problem rather than make it better. One of the things that I see people use all the time that fits into that category is ammonia. Ammonia is in urine and stool. When you let urine sit for too long, you smell that ammonia smell. That's not a good thing. And so if you're taking it up and then putting ammonia to clean with, you're actually adding to the problem. So what I would suggest you do is start using a combination 50-50, 50% vinegar, white vinegar, not red wine vinegar or anything like that. Just a straight white vinegar and 50% water. That's it. You don't have to worry about buying expensive products. You don't have to worry about, going through a lot of hoops and steam cleaners and everything else. Those things may be helpful and you can still use them, but the acid and vinegar, when put down on urine and stool, or at least the leftovers from urine and stool, after you've blotted and gotten rid of the most of the waste, the acid and vinegar mixed half and half with water is going to be enough to get that kind of broken down so that you can get the rest of it cleaned up. Now, one thing I will tell you, when you do this, you're going to want to cover the area and then about half again as much. So if there's a small little spot of urine that your dog has left, maybe you're dealing with a toy poodle, it's a very small spot, you don't want to just blot that spot out, pour a little bit of the vinegar and water mixture on top, and then, think that you've done your job. The little bit of spraying that your dog might leave when it goes to the bathroom is going to be enough to cover a little bit around that spot or a little bit around the spot on the wall or the spot on the side of the bed. You want to soak that whole area down with the vinegar and the water solution and leave it soaked for about 4 or 5 minutes just to give it time to neutralize a lot of the odor that's there. Then you want to come back with a towel, blot that vinegar and water out, and then keep blotting or pouring water and blotting the water up until you get the vinegar smell up. Once that vinegar smell is up, then you can use whatever products you like to make the carpet smell how you like it, as far as deodorizers and so on and so forth, because by that time the vinegar will have already taken care of the actual odor, and now you can just put something that makes the house smell fresh and gets rid of the vinegar smell, and you're pretty much done. So again, when it comes to territorial marking, the biggest problem with this is that, the biggest reason that this happens is because dogs don't know that you're in charge. They think that they're the ones that should be able to go and mark wherever they want to. So if you have a problem with territorial marking, it's a dominance issue. It's not a housebreaking issue. It can be both together. If there's a problem with territorial marking, I would suggest you find a very competent obedience trainer in your area, somebody that's not going to go and do the whole treat thing, somebody who's actually going to hold your dog accountable to his behaviors. Work through that at the same time you're applying this program to work through the housebreaking, and I think you'll be doing pretty good. Work through making sure you keep that set eliminated, making sure you clean properly every time you find an accident, and you should be doing fine. So work on this, and I'll see you on the next video.